Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We're just going to give it a couple more minutes past the hour for more students to join, and then we'll go ahead and kick off and get started. Okay, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you all for being here today. I'm very excited to chat a little bit more about the Thinkful Nexford partnership, what we have to offer, and really how you can potentially level up your career with cybersecurity and data analytics through taking these programs. So my name is Jenny. I'm on the Thinkful marketing team. Oh, it looks like someone cannot hear on their end. I'm going to go ahead and keep talking, but feel free to let me know if there's an audio issue. So again, yeah, I'm Jenny from the Thinkful marketing team. I've partnered with the Nexford team, such as Roshan and Zara, quite a bit over the past few months to ensure that our content is available to Nexford students, both through cybersecurity and data analytics. And today we're super excited to share with you a bit more of detail on what those programs look like, both cybersecurity and data analytics. You'll have the opportunity to hear from some current students. So Adekunle as well as Tiwalola will be able to speak to you about the data analytics and cybersecurity programs and their experiences with that. So very much looking forward to that. As well as we'll get some more information from Zara on the Nexford side on what this actually looks like from an enrollment and growth perspective for you all. And that said, we'll leave some time at the end for Q&A. So please go ahead and put any of your questions throughout this session into the Q&A box, and we will try to answer those real time as well as live. We won't be monitoring the chat as much for Q&A, so please go ahead and try to put those in the specific Q&A box. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we can get started with some content on the program. Cool. So again, welcome to the Cybersecurity and Data Analytics overview. I'm going to give you a bit of overview of what is Thinkful, since this may be new to some of you who are primarily familiar with Nexford, which is awesome. So Thinkful is an innovative online education platform that brings high growth skills and career training to motivated working adults such as yourselves. We were launched over a decade ago, and we have experience supporting thousands of students to learn job-ready skills and to advance their careers in exciting, in-demand areas such as data analytics and cybersecurity, which we'll talk about today. We are a member of the Chegg family, which is one of the largest ed tech companies in the world. And as a whole, we're committed to giving adult learners the skills and learning support they need to grow professionally. So starting with Thinkful's Cybersecurity Certificate, this program trains aspiring IT security professionals with high demand skills to help companies navigate cyber risk. So you can enter from a variety of paths. You don't have to have any existing cybersecurity knowledge. You can be a retail associate, a customer service agent, or something else. And as a result of this 7-month program, you will graduate with applicable skills to enter the field as an entry-level cybersecurity professional. So some of the specifics of what you'll learn in this program: you will engage with the basics of networking. You will secure applications through endpoint security. You'll manage risk using vulnerability testing. And you'll evaluate compromises and respond to incidents, all of which are tools, techniques, technologies that real cybersecurity analysts use in their day-to-day jobs. So you will emerge from the program with these skills to tangibly apply to your work. So next, an overview of the Data Analytics Certificate Program. This program trains professionals in the core skills of data analysis, data visualization, and data storytelling through methods such as PowerPoint, Tableau, and so on, to drive successful business outcomes. So once again, you don't have to have any existing knowledge of data analytics or any prerequisites for this program. You can enter from a variety of different backgrounds and industries, and you'll leave with the training and fundamental skills to enter the growing data analytics field and advance your professional growth. So some of the specifics on what you'll learn in this program: you'll start by learning the basics of Excel and SQL to actually analyze data. You'll take that a step further into visualizing data using PowerPoint and Tableau. And then you'll actually incorporate programming into data analytics using Python. So this is a full cohesive story of how you can analyze data, present data, and take that to the next level of data analytics. So that said, you're probably wondering, how will you learn with Thinkful? What does this actually look like? So the great thing is that our programs are flexible and online. So you have no scheduled class time, and you can really work this around your personal and professional schedules to complete coursework as you see fit with your lives. You'll work in an in-depth hands-on environment, which I'll get into in a minute here. And there are open office hours to answer any of your questions. So what you see on the right-hand side is a view of the cybersecurity program. You'll see you have a tracking metric here that shows if you're on schedule, what's due soon, what's passed soon, and what's complete. This individual has completed 34 out of the 34 assignments. Within the platform as well, you can click into each specific module. So this one shows the IT systems component, and you can see the specific lessons. So things like desktop virtualization, cloud computing, data information and use cases, and then ending with an assessment. And you can see how long those will take you, when they're due, and what the status is at a given time. So if they're past due or if they're upcoming. And yeah, so there are multiple courses within each program. This one specifically, the cybersecurity, starts with orientation and then moves into IT security professional, security analyst, and one more. So you can see how long it might take you, how many modules there are included within, and go into the course to actually start your learning. Another example of what this module looks like: you'll understand careers in cybersecurity, introduction to the cybersecurity certificate, introduction to virtual labs, which is how you will learn, and various other components that you will need to actually get started with Thinkful. So this is the one of the first modules that you'll actually take to learn more about cybersecurity and how you'll learn over the next 7 months. And then finally, there are various different types of assessments, everything from auto-graded to hands-on. And you'll use something called the InfoSec learning platform on the right-hand side here to actually complete a lot of your coursework, do your readings, and do your knowledge checks. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Zara, who will give more perspective from Nexford's point of view, and then we can keep going from there.
Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to share my screen. I just have a couple of slides to go through with everyone. And hopefully you can see my screen now. In addition to the boot camps themselves, we offer at Nexford our Career Strategies for Success course for all learners who are enrolled in the boot camps. This course is really going to help with the piece that comes after you are done with the boot camp, which is, trying to get a job in the field of study. And what we really do with the course is provide a very step-by-step and guided methodology for designing, planning, and executing your job search in order to get the most successful outcomes. We include templates for things like your resumes, your resume or CV, your cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, all sorts of templates that you can save and use for future use as well. And we provide access to a number of the latest AI tools that help you in one, using what HR professionals are using worldwide to sort of sift through a lot of resumes, so you can help make sure that yours is at the top of their pile to actually review, but also to help you in practicing interview skills and in developing all of your different job search materials. Finally, we even go so far as to provide guidance on how to negotiate compensation to get the best outcomes ultimately for yourself. So this is available to all learners included in the program. The other thing that I just wanted to provide is a little bit more information. As mentioned, we have two. We have the cybersecurity and the data analytics bootcamp. The average length is about 7 months for the cybersecurity, I think about 6 months for the data analytics, but there's a maximum length of up to 10 months. So it's self-paced. You can complete more quickly, or to reduce your total tuition, or you can go more slowly if you need the extra time to manage your life in addition to the course. I did want to call out that we have a new lower price for tuition, but this price is dependent on your location. If you check the Nexford Bootcamp page for the current price, will give you the price for your region based on where you are. And if you enroll before by June 1st, we are currently going to be providing a 20% discount. So it's only really available for the next few days. But we did want to call this out to anyone who's seriously considering, enrolling in the program. But I think what we'll do now is hand things over to, I think, who we all want to hear from, which is learners who are enrolled in the programs right now. And so I will stop sharing my screen. And I'm not sure who's going first, Jenny, if it's Tiwalola or...
Yeah, well, Tiwalola, why don't you go ahead and go first? You can give a quick overview and some detail on what you've learned from your program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiwalola Wokule. I'm from Nigeria. I'm currently running a cybersecurity program, Nexford, in partnership with Thinkful. I started a few months back. So let me start by saying that wherever you find yourself, whether as an employer or an employee, at some point you want to have something in the digital space. And this can come in form of an app or a website. And as such, number one, you need to make sure that your customer data is safe and secure. Number two, your app or website is structured in such a way that it's not easy for cyber threats to penetrate. I work in a financial institution. We have agents that are third parties and they're authorized by the bank to perform financial transactions for their customers. Different engagements with IT, the need to hone my skill sets is actually what drove me to enroll in this course. I do not have an IT background. The good thing about the cybersecurity program with Nexford and Thinkful is that you do not need an IT background to enroll in this course. The course is structured such that it takes you from the foundation level where you learn about cybersecurity computers, and then it takes you on to the intermediate level where you learn about open system interconnection, models, networks. Finally, you can place a meaning to some of the words that you have seen or learned. So in school, we learned that binary is in base 2, decimal is in base 10. Now I know that there's something like hexadecimal, which is in base 16. Now, the course is structured such that you have a dashboard that shows your progress report. All that you learn in the theory part, you get to practicalize it through a virtual lab. And to show that you're following through with the process, there are some small quizzes just so that you are following through, right? You may be wondering, how do you juggle school and work? As a working mom, I try as much as possible to maximize my free time and cover more during weekends. I had said earlier that the course has a dashboard that shows your progress report. It also tells you if you are on schedule or behind schedule. You probably get a chat from one of your success advisors, but you will definitely get an email saying something like, "We haven't seen you this week. You haven't submitted a module. You haven't moved past where you are. You need to come back and be on course." So it's not like one of those courses where you just pay and then you decide to follow through, or you halt whenever you like. There's always someone or somebody or something pushing you to make sure that you're following through the process. It's been a whole lot, learning new things, and honestly, I'm enjoying the journey. It's been a rewarding one. You should actually enroll in the course too. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tualola. That is wonderful. And participants, feel free to ask specific questions to Tualola on her experience in the cybersecurity program. I think it'll be really important to hear from her specific perspectives, especially in the time management, the skills, and so on. So with that, we'll turn it over to Adekunle, and he will speak about his experience in the data analytics program. Adekunle, I'm not sure if we can hear you. Would you mind going off mute?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Oshobo Adekunle. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm currently undergoing data analytics with Nexford, and it has been an eye-opener for me in the past. I started in April 2023. I work with a bank, and as a team lead, we tend to have access to a lot of data. And this data, sometimes it may not make sense to as subordinates, our team members, when we push those data out for them to go and work with. It's like if you are overloading them with a lot of data, and much oftentimes they get more confused and don't know what to do with this data. But with this, my few months with Nexford, and I've done this program, I've been able to have I've had opportunity of seeing how to make sense, how to make decisions with data, and how to present data in a way that becomes meaningful, and somebody can look at it and make decisions from it. And presentation becomes more critical in presenting information to a particular audience. So what I do is, when I have this data, when it is sent to me for work, and I have to send to my subordinate, what I do is, for example, I do a pivot table, and also go ahead to do a pivot chart, which shows sometimes the trend analysis of what their performance has been on various KPI for a particular period. So it's easy for each of my team members to look at their performance at a glance, either through the pivot table or the chart, and see where they are and see what they can do on each of the KPI. So for me, a lot of data has been simplified into making critical decisions and seeing areas where we can improve performance over a lot of times. And at this point in time, we should have a lot of Excel reporting that you need to do. But with my experience with Nexford and on this data analytics, I've gained more insight on how to use Excel properly to be able to do more reporting and present reports in a more subtle and more better way. So I think for me, the experience has been worthwhile, and I will always recommend this program for anyone. And one other key thing I find so fascinating about this program is, I try as much as possible for me to, at least in a day, read 2 hours in a day between Mondays to Friday. Then while at weekend, I try as much as possible to catch up as much as possible. I double my effort over the weekend. So by so doing, when I check on the dashboard how my progress is doing, I most often time notice that I'm even doing far better than I should. And what I do also is that when I'm reading day by day, I ensure that within a space of 30 to 45 minutes, I take a 5 minutes break, 5 to 10 minutes break, to digest what I've read, and also to just freshen up my mind and my memory, then going back to it again. I always look forward to going back every day to go back and study, because I keep finding new things that are interesting to me and helping me on my line of job. So because of that, it's interesting every day to go back to the online learning tool and continue to learn more. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adekunle. Great. So we have about 10 minutes left, so right on schedule. We're going to go ahead and switch into the Q&A. And I think actually the first question is back to Tiwa. Someone wants to know how it was for you to switch from your current profession to cybersecurity. So Tiwa, if you want to go ahead and put your camera back on if you'd like, and answer that question for the group, I think it's a great one to go ahead and start with.
Okay, all right, thank you. So it's not like I had to switch, right? It's just gaining new knowledge so that whatever I'm doing at the moment in the backend sector, I can have an understanding of actually what happens back end. Because trust me, the truth is digital is the future. So at some point you need to have that IT skill. You need to upskill so that you can understand what is happening around you, basically. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiwa. Any other questions for either Tiwa or Adekunle, or just questions on the programs in general? The Thinkful team as well as the Nexford team are happy to answer any, so feel free to put those into the chat. If not, I'll go ahead and ask some further questions for Adekunle and Tiwa. So Adekunle, question for you actually. Can you tell us a bit about your journey through data analytics thus far and what your intended career goals or next steps would be as a result of this program, and any just, either certifications or additional training that you feel like would be helpful in addition to Thinkful's program, just so students can get a sense for what you'd like to do with it next.
Okay, thank you very much. So far, so good. I have a few background in Excel before joining this program. However, I've been able to have an in-depth knowledge on Excel, SQL. Currently, I'm also going to do Python and the rest. However, I'm trying to, first of all, upgrade my skills to be relevant in the industry I'm working right now. But what I'm looking at is getting other further certifications to move as a data analyst. In the near future, maybe in the next 6 months, I'll move further to become a data analyst. So with data analyst, I can use information, I can use data in the financial sector to predict the events and the trend of what will happen, and to also predict what customers would definitely prefer, the preferences of customers based on the available data I have had. And also that will also aid in product formulation in the financial space, and look at what other things that I can play with within the financial space, actually. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Adekunle. Actually, one more question for you in the chat, if you can keep going on the roll here. So BC is curious about, they are presently doing a data analytics course with Google/Coursera, but they're not getting enough hands-on training. Is there an opportunity to work on more practical challenges? Specifically within the Thinkful program, I would say.
Okay, with my experience with the Thinkful program, the learning processes are practical, and you go step by step, and it's easy to go through. And if you are finding anything difficult along the way, there's a video that naturally you can play, which self-explains everything for you. And if that is not okay, also, you can decide to go to your success advisor, which also can also relate to it. But the truth is, because I work and I have a lot of data available to me, when I go through the Thinkful schedule and I've gone through all the assignments, I also have available data which I also have within my purview, which I use also to practice and over the time, it has become part and parcel of me. And also, data are available everywhere, which can be gotten, because there are enough data that are given for each of the examples and the test questions that we are given to practice under Thinkful. There are test questions which you'll be given, which add that data you would use to answer your questions. So it is.
Awesome. Thank you. Great. So we have a question on, after this data analytics program, what is next? Will Nexford give you hands-on practical experience? So I'll turn that to either Zara or Adekunle. I think maybe Zara would be able to give a better answer on specifically what Nexford can provide, and Adekunle could speak to what comes next after the data analytics course.
Yeah, after after the data analytics course, it really is about trying to help you to revise your job searching materials and help to get you into that next job. And so that's what that career strategies course is really about, that we include. We do have, as part of all Nexford enrollments, the ability for you to participate in virtual job fairs and other job seeking experiences, as well as like internships, for example, virtual internships, as well as job searching opportunities in our localized communities or groups, as well as a service that we include called Forage, which provides virtual internship experiences online. So you can do things like you have employers who post challenges that are very much like having an internship, but they're shorter and they're all online. So you can do things like do a specific data analytics, for example, type challenge that is posted by a large bank, or you could, or by Amazon, right? Or by Google. So really large companies who are building these and putting them in Forage, and those are included for free for all of Nexford enrolled learners.
Perfect. Thank you, Zara. So we have time for one more question that I'm seeing in the chat here. Joyce wants to find out how techy the program is. So Tiwalola, if you're able to, could you provide some context on how technical the program is and what students can expect from that?
Yes, so I would say that it's a whole lot in one. One amazing thing is, you get to read the theory, right? And then you go over to a virtual lab where you practicalize some of the things the theory that you have learned in practical use, basically what you would see in a real life situation. So you would learn new things, obviously. You would so there are some things that we hear VPN, you hear SSL certificates. So it just opens and broadens your knowledge on a lot of things that you hear, but you probably don't know what they are about. And you have a dashboard that is easy for you to navigate, right? So you can follow through the process, and basically it's that simple.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiwalola. And yeah, I would just reiterate that you don't need to have any prior technical knowledge or expertise either in data analytics or cybersecurity to be successful in one of these programs. Really, all you need is a computer, access to internet, and some basic technical like Word and responding to emails, those types of basic communication skills, so that you can stay up to date with the program requirements that we've discussed. So I would say that if you're interested in getting into these high growth, high interest fields of data analytics and cybersecurity, but are concerned that you don't have the technical expertise, rest assured that the Thinkful Nexford program will teach you everything that you need. They're very in-depth programs. Cybersecurity on average takes students about 7 months, but many students finish much quicker. And data analytics takes students around 6 months. But again, you can finish much quicker depending on how you're pacing. So with all of that said, I know we are at time, but if you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out to your Nexford representatives. We know we have a great team on the call here between Zara, Libo, and Roshan. And we will hope to see you in the next cohort of data analytics and cybersecurity students. So thank you all for spending your Friday afternoon learning more, and we're very excited to continue learning together. Bye-bye.
Thank you.